We are officially motherfucking live. Everybody, how are we doing today? Today.
Yeah.
So
Doing good.
I'll do a traditional. We haven't done like a traditional what's it called in quite some time opening. So
Opening.
I don't even think I want to do that.
Yeah, I usually just go right into it. Let's get into the juice, get into the meat.
Let's get into the juicy meat. There's some announcements I do want to kind of let's front load some announcements because why not? I'm going to kick it off just a wee bit. First and foremost, everybody, if you are not aware, Modern Life Dating has his body language mastery course opening up December 26th. Please do go and check that out. Modern Life Dating /body language. Sign up now. I will have the link in the description. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do here? Let's see. I'm going to put this in the freaking chat. I'm going to put the chat in there. Copy link address.
Boom. Technology.
Have you seen his ad yet?
I've not seen his ad. I did take the course last time, and
all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do some share screen. We're going to share. Hopefully this pulls up and share audio. Oh, click that entire screen, I think. Do a Chrome tab. Check me out, dude. I'm fucking getting good at this. What's it called? Share.
There you go.
I wonder.
The streamer.
Can you see it? Can you guys see it? Can you see
it's
us
up.
too?
It's up. It's good.
Can you hear it?
No, there's a sound. Oh, you went off.
Oh, phooey. I think it's buffering a little bit. But this is pretty cool. A pretty cool little intro. Little promo. Oh God! I thought I was so good.
We started talking shit before you delivered.
Yeah.
Count your chickens. So the porn debate is still raging on. I see.
We're gonna get to it.
It keeps popping up. I just see the same screen, the Q4 promo.
Can you not hear it?
Nope.
It's not playing right now?
Not playing.
Oh, okay.
Played for a second, then turned off.
All right. Because I was playing it over here in my video. It's because I went with one. Stop sharing screen. This is what we're going to do. We're going to share screen, share audio. Chrome tab. Here. Nope, wrong one. Dude, I'm getting there. I promise. Yeah, we're going to get to the porn debate here in a second. Because it's still a raging. Fuck it. Share that entire thing. And I'm just going to go. Here we go. We're going to go all the way here. MLD's little commercial here. Can you see it, John?
Yep. There we go.
Can you hear it?
Gentlemen, We are in a system. That system is our enemy. Take a look around you. What do you see? Me Too accusations, social justice warriors, crazy feminists, and hopelessly emasculated men. The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we save those minds, those people are part of the system, and that makes them our enemy. We have to understand most of these men are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so hopelessly controlled by blue pill lies that they depend on the system, and they will fight to protect it. As a man, which do you prefer? To remain willfully ignorant of masculine and feminine truths, or to get out of your comfort zone and to seek the truth that the system does not want you to know?
Fucking amen to that.
Well done.
Isn't that fucking crazy? I dig it. All right, guys. So that's
such a weird thing for that to be controversial.
Do you think it's controversial?
No, that there's a difference between men and women, that there's a difference between masculine and feminine traits.
Absolutely.
That people are biologically predetermined to be attracted to certain types of behaviors and traits. Like, how is that fucking controversial? How did we get to that place and time where you'll get blocked on social media for saying that shit out loud?
Oh, it's crazy. I watched a little Steven Crowder yesterday, even though he's a little bit of a, he's a little bit too far right for me, but you know, at the same time, I listen to some of his stuff and I agree with it.
Some of it,
But he
I mean,
says that there's
yeah.
a YouTube. He says there's a YouTube purge coming, and I kind of believe it. I think I'm
Yeah,
gonna be on the
they're-
chopping block for sure.
Yeah, as far as demonetization and stuff like that.
No, they're straight gonna be deleting people's what's it called?
Yeah,
From what he's saying.
they don't like it. They're getting rid of it.
Mhm.
Partially, I can see it because you have a ton of people uploading stuff, and if you're not generating revenue off of people uploading stuff and using your servers, I can see that being a hindrance to you. But it's a move by big corporations to cut out the competition.
Correct.
That's a big thing
That's
that
exactly
a
what
lot
it
of
comes
people
down to.
don't understand is there's an elite ruling class, right? It's a predatory class, and it's them versus everybody else, right?
Mhm.
They pay their little helpers, their in-betweeners, their police forces, and their whatever crooked politicians and news media to do their bidding. But like they're the ones who are milking us for everything we can do, everything we can produce,
Right.
everything we
Our
have.
energy, our money,
Yes.
our taxation, our
Mhm.
families, our minds. You're absolutely right. It's the ultimate form of controlling our mind. It's controlling everything. As a matter of fact, you're not truly free. It's why I have live free tattooed on my knuckles, because that's probably one of the biggest things that I'm trying to do is just.
And they do not want competition. They don't want anything that would upend their power and dominance. You imagine if because that's what capitalism has done. That's what Western society has done. It is the first time in world history where a person can be born dirt poor, poverty on the lowest level, and because of capitalism, because of the West, that person who's born in the gutter has nothing. They can rise up and become the most powerful person and have a shitload of money.
Right.
So like that's dangerous to the people with power. Like they don't want competition. They want to be the only ones with that money and the ability to do the things they do. So if Joe Schmo can be born in a gutter and raise himself up from pig farmer to multi-billionaire, that threatens their control. So they're going to put as many roadblocks in the way for your average person to cross over into that wealth. They're going to find ways to enslave you and make you work for them to build their wealth up.
Well, it's just like right now too, man. I'm going to tell you every step of the way. Even when I sell my online dating mastery course, I have to pay $40 in taxes right off the bat. So I only end up making $260 off of something that I created from my own expertise. And at the end of the year, I have to report it, and then I have to pay taxes again on it. So how much am I really making from that? And then not to mention after that, after I go and buy anything out there, I have to pay a 8.9% sales tax here in the state of California, on top of a whole bunch of other stuff.
Income tax, state income tax.
Exactly. So when you really break it down,
out the ass.
yeah, when you really break it down, I'm paying upwards of 60 to 70% in taxes on everything. And I'm literally only taking home maybe 30% of what I actually fucking give. How crazy is that to think about, man? Honestly, right? And like the whole setup is exactly that. It's a way for them to continue to make money off of you being the bad guys with the guns or the good guys with the guns, and making it so that you are paying their coffers for them just being in power and control. It's like, that's not a fair system. And what it comes down to is simply, this is capitalism is the greatest thing, but we converted, 1940s, 1950s over to this thing called crony capitalism, where we've manipulated capitalism and we merged it with the political elite in order for them to start putting into political power, right, these laws that made it so that these corporations, these people, look at Dick Cheney, for instance. He went from having one of the most powerful corporations to becoming the vice president of the country, in charge of pretty much pushing through fucking
good old Halliburton.
Exactly. And then going back to doing what?
And starting a war, killing a million people, and then sending in Halliburton to take over the oil fields.
Exactly.
It's just
Halliburton wasn't. I don't think Halliburton has much to do with the opium. It's more to do with the oil.
No, the oil. Yeah.
The opium is definitely
in Iraq.
The opium is the big thing in Afghanistan, and that's definitely big pharma. Big pharma has their fucking ties in there.
Yep.
That's what all of our wars.
Nobody knows why or what the fuck we're doing or what the goal is. There's no mission.
Those two wars were merely just to spread the wealth of these gigantic families, right? They went on a resource crusade. They said, we want those, right? We want those things. You also got to tie in the fact that the second we came off the gold standard and we created a fiat currency, our whole entire dollar was based off of what? It's the petrodollar.
Petrodollar.
Right? So now everything is based off of fucking oil tied to the dollar. And that's been, the Bush, Clinton, Obama. And I can't really say, I don't know too much about what Trump's trying to do. There's some whispers that he wanted to bring it back to a gold standard, but I don't think that's going to be possible.
He's going to come into too much trouble.
I don't think that's possible. I don't know if there's enough gold in the world to do that.
He's started to we're starting to produce our own oil to combat that. Because before, there's the petrodollar, and the Saudis had a tight grip on the price of the barrels of oil, so they could fuck with the
inflation of it,
the inflation of what the dollar was, with how many barrels they let out or not. Well, now you have competing company. We had us. We're making our own oil. We're sending our own oil out, shipping our own oil out. So like we're alleviating some of that pressure and control that they have. But it is what it is. I mean, we're going to be fighting over oil until we come up with a better, cleaner way, more efficient way that doesn't use the oil.
I agree. Yeah. And there's things, I try to do my research on it too. I don't know what the energy solution is, Well, I've been looking into thorium reactors and all that other
honestly,
stuff.
Yeah, the cleanest, safest energy right now is nuclear.
Yeah.
But it's got such a bad rap because there was a couple bad incidents that happened. And now
my perspective on the my perspective on the Fukushima. I think that was an inside job, to be honest with you, because all three of the reactors shut down at the same time, with all three of the backup generators being cleansed at the same. It was stupid. And I think that's exactly what it is. These people that are in charge of the petrodollar, you got to think of it in shadow government types of things. Like, how smart would it be to do that on top of just instill fear into the masses of people?
Yeah,
really. I mean, we're already talking about it. You've already gone through great lengths in order to, you've launched 3 or 4 massive scale wars. You've sent many millions of innocent people, your own countrymen, and the civilians in these other countries. What more does it matter if you're just going to fucking blow up a nuclear plant and all this other stuff? You know what I mean? Like, who cares? At that level, you're playing for keeps.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
very nefarious shit. Very nefarious shit.
Rarely talked about, even that 1 million people died because of lies, weapons of mass destruction, and then we continue to have these burdens placed upon us because we're still at war in these places that we have no business in.
Nope.
For some bullshit lie that happened 20 years ago. It makes zero sense. And I think that these older politicians, they just don't get it. They don't understand the power of the internet. I still don't think they get it.
They think they're able to put a lid on something and
or control it, or there'll be video of them saying things, like with Joe Biden recently, his whole shit with Ukraine. Right, there's video and audio of him explaining what he did, right? Trying to get somebody fired, holding their money back, like illegal. He admitted to it, and now he's doing interviews, being like, "Oh, nothing illegal happened, nothing, whatever." 100% lie, and a provable lie, but they just keep marching on, like, "Nope, it never happened. I don't care if you have a video. I don't care if there's audio of me saying that." Never happened.
Right. Well, the reason why Joe Biden is even leading in the polls or anything like that, and the reason why he's the main candidate, is because he was in there during that Obama era. He was tied into Operation Fast and Furious and all this stuff. They were pushing all the weapons through Saudi Arabia, or not Saudi, through Benghazi into Syria in order to fund and create the ability for ISIS to be you got to understand all this stuff. All these things are state sponsored. Right. That's what was actually on the Clinton. What's it called? She was selling out as Secretary of State. She was selling out her position of authority, selling secrets and hiding secrets in order to kind of create I fucking hate using the term cabal because it's just so overused, but
that's what it is. And that's what Joe Biden is. He's the last of their cabal to be able to do this.
Right. He's the last hope. And that's why they're propping him up. But you could see he's falling apart. There's something strange about these people too. You could tell. Why are they all falling apart? Why is Bill Clinton falling apart? If you look at him, he doesn't look like a healthy person. Look at Hillary Clinton. You remember when she was on the fucking election campaign cycle? Like she was like fucking like seizing and having all this shit.
Doesn't look good now, even though like
No.
they're staging everything and making everything look perfect every time. Like she still doesn't look good. She looks awful.
Dude, I want to know what that metal thing was that fell out of her fucking leg. Do you remember that? Did you ever see that?
Huh. I have no idea.
September
I
11th.
saw her hack up a big freaking thing.
Oh yeah. There's probably like fucking
some kind of weird alien.
It was like fetuses or something. Yeah, she was like probably munching on
ate.
some fucking placenta beforehand. Yeah, September 11th memorial, which is kind of funny because obviously
the one where she
Benghazi happened on September 11th. She was like seizing, and all of a sudden, like her legs were shaking, and all of a sudden, this like metal piece comes clanking on the ground. It was super weird too, because she had this fucking one guy that was like this big black dude that was like following her around everywhere and watching everything. It's like, dude, there's some serious shit that's going on with these people. They're involved in some serious shit. This Epstein thing is very, very, very suspicious.
Well, I mean, these people, they don't live, they're scumbags. They don't live clean. They party hard behind the scene. Obama's probably up late night doing coke off a gay hooker's ass.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
he's definitely not straight for sure.
Yeah, I don't think those kids are even his. Like, he's a state-sponsored CIA.
I agree with you 100%.
There's all kinds of like weird shit about his past if you look into it. It's weird.
Correct. He was groomed as a CIA operative to become become
president. Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about today too, man? How the fuck did this motherfucker get a Nobel Peace Prize before he even fucking
started 7 wars or some shit?
Before he even did anything. How the fuck? This is how sketchy.
Have you seen
when you sit here and say we're going to give you a Nobel Peace Prize for the work that you're going to do?
Yeah.
For the work that you're gonna do, we're gonna give you a Nobel Peace Prize. Not the work that you already fucking did.
No,
it's fucking garbage.
They should revoke it. They should retake it. That award means nothing now because Obama won it.
Yeah, well, you know, they're putting Greta Thunberg up there for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Then they gave her Time is now a comedy.
Time Person of the Year.
Time Person of the Year is a spoiled rich brat.
Yeah. With
and
Asperger's.
And then like they had like the defenders of whatever. They had a bunch of jerk offs on the cover too. It's these communist Russian communist tactics. It's propaganda.
Saul Alinsky. You know that fucking Hillary Clinton trained directly underneath Saul Alinsky.
Yep.
And same with I'm guessing Barry was also a good old Barry Obama. I'm guessing was a direct protege of that man as well.
You can see it. It's all the same systematic communist tactics that they've used before.
And this is why I go so hard on college, because guess what? Those same tactics are being pushed through the university.
Indoctrination, because everything's an idea in college. Like anything's possible. It's a fantasy land.
Well, and then they're pushing ideologies. And the thing is, you just said it. You live in a fantasy land. Yeah. So if I live in fantasy land, why wouldn't I want to create more fantasies in the world? It's like there's no level of reality being pushed into any of this stuff. And that's why I said I pushed out a tweet the other day.
You're there on Magic Money, right? Magic Money. They give you
learning fairy tales.
Your any money that you do have, you're spending on drugs and alcohol and partying.
Not good healthy
traveling,
food.
Not good healthy food, shit food,
ramen noodles,
and that's like food. What's supposed to happen. But it's wild. So like you're living that fantasy. So why not extend it? You know, why not live in a world where anything is possible? Just gotta believe.
Patrick Knott says, "What's up, dudes?" Not much, dude. I like your thumbnail. That's pretty cool. It kind of ties into what we're talking about a little bit right now. Except Newt. I think that's is that Newt? That's a Newty boy.
Newt.
Yeah.
They're all in it. Well, a lot of them are in it.
Yeah, I agree. It's that era. It's that, you know, I blame a lot of stuff on boomers, but they're the most narcissistic people that have ever come out. They were raised as a generation of people that watch TV, didn't have dads, and have been brought up believing that materialism is their only, you know, worth and self-worth. And then we have the complete other pendulum swing where the millennials and this Generation Z of people are like the opposite, and they're like, oh, we want tiny homes and we want whatever, and like blah blah blah, get rid of materialism, let's live the super hippie dippy spiritual life.
Is that them, or is that conditioning? Is that growing up under people telling you, oh no, you need less, you need this, you need that, looks don't
I agree.
matter, your presentation doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Like I had like I mean, because like I was always against, like I never dressed up or looked good or whatever, because I was against it, because that's kind of what I was taught. Like, oh, it doesn't matter what you look like, it's matters what you can do and your character and blah blah blah. Right. And it's like, yeah, those things are true, but like your outside appearance does matter. Like that registers to people. Your lizard brain, your hindbrain notices, even if you don't care and you don't give a shit. Like your hindbrain is still going to pick it up. You walk into a room, you're
constantly assessing someone's value. You are constantly assessing something's value. Everything.
If you see somebody who's unkempt and doesn't have their shit together, like you're probably less likely to think they're going to be competent in another area. Like, that's exactly even though, like, you know, you have all these multimillionaires walk around like Palo Alto in sweatpants and you know, torn up clothes and shitty haircuts, but like it doesn't mean they're fucking doing it right. Like they've got one aspect of their life in control, which is the money. Okay, great. Right. Like, why stop there? Shouldn't you be trying to be your best everywhere? Like I've fallen victim to this too in ways too. Like, you know, I should have put more, if I would put as much energy and effort into other things as I put into just training for fighting, I'd probably be a lot further on in life. I'd probably have a lot more stuff, a lot more contacts, a lot more bigger networks, more money, more everything. Right. So if I would have got that into my head earlier, that no, you should be aspiring to be your best everywhere, that would have changed a lot of things. Well, I thought if I was just excellent in one place, that would take care of everything.
Right. That's a lot of people's thoughts. It's because we're not mentored in the direction of doing something like that.
It's time to get back to that. We need another renaissance of masculinity.
I agree.
You should be able to do the physical feat, write the poem, seduce the woman, and win the war.
And then skin the fucking antelope.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Or just fucking eat it raw.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Whatever.
Exactly. No, listen, I'm 100% on board. Do it all.
No,
why not? You know, I was just on Troy Francis's channel this morning, and we were talking about Christianity versus masculinity. And that's a lot of what I had to talk about today was, you know, a lot of these guys just put all their energy into being a good Christian, and they don't really put any energy into being a good man, because
I think that new Christianity has been feminized.
Oh, 100%.
I don't think, 100 years ago Christianity was the same, or 200 years ago it was the same.
Well, the thing that's lacking in Christianity is game, because they've always been so scared to broach the subject of sex. And that's something that is huge. Obviously, you know, game. I think half of everything in life is game. That's my new philosophy, because half of everything is the desire for survival and procreation. So half of everything is game. There's an underlying, right? The sexual marketplace is the underlying marketplace. It is the black market, right? That's the marketplace that we're all competing on.
It's the motor. It's the motor that's making everything else move.
I love it. Dude, that's a fucking beautiful way to put it. It is definitely the motor. It's what we're all doing. And like you said,
the only reason anything happens, the only reason why any of us are here, there's all kinds of other shit put on top of it, but that's the motor. Sexual reproduction. That's why, I mean, that's, to me, like survive. My number one rule is survive. To me, you know, sexual reproduction is a part of that. That's why I say that.
But that's the problem too in that environment. And I wanted to go back to that where, you know, you're talking about having this well-roundedness as far as masculinity is concerned, and having all these virtues and having all these abilities to be able to do that. And that's something that's been really lacking, because again, you know, game has been missing in a lot of that.
Putting in your best effort everywhere.
Yeah. And you know, the downfall too, man, is it takes years. I mean, you're what, 41, 42 right now? 41? 41. And you probably just cracked open into this stuff a couple years ago. You said, I just started focusing on my looks. I shed the blue pill fucking ideal of the one and one-itis and being this kind of like limp dick guy around the house when it comes to women. dating numerous women and having fun, engaging, being seductive, working on my style, working on my nutrition, building my finances at the same time, mentoring men, being a good father. Like it took you years. You're 41 years old right now to learn all this stuff.
And having kids was a part of that too, like realizing like, oh shit, like, a lot of this other stuff's just garbage. Like it was fun, but it didn't really it didn't do it for me as much as like taking care of the kids every day.
Yeah.
It just seems like everything else was just fucking spinning the wheels. You're not really doing shit. Like, what are you really contributing if you're not having kids?
Yeah, that's true too. I had somebody say that to me the other day. He's like, you can't tell men how to be a man because you haven't been married and had kids. And it's like, there's a lot more to masculinity than just doing that. That's
there's plenty of emasculated feminine men who have children.
Right. Well, let me ask you a question. And this is the biggest thing that I can't stand about these fucking people posting all these photos of their kids online and stuff like that. It's like, oh, good job. You fucked. Like, we've been doing this since the fucking dawn of time. Like, you fucked and you fucking had a baby. Like, most people today act like it's the fucking craziest thing, and mainly because it's just an egotistical way for them to post photos and get more likes. But that's really what it comes down to, is it's like the dumbest person in the world right now can literally just go, ugh, and then bust a nut inside a chick, and then they could have a fucking kid. The thing is, can you do all of everything that you and I just talked about? Can you do all of that and then have kids and then be a good role model to your children? Can you do all this and influence society? Right? Can you be in shape? Can you have 6 figures in the bank account? Can you have fucking 10%, 12? Let's go 12%, right? 8 to 12% body fat is ideal body fat for a man to be optimal as far as hormones are concerned. Can you speak properly? Do you have a wealth of knowledge to be able to speak on in multiple factions, right? Do you have some kind of spiritual connection? Do you know what's going on there? Like, for me personally, I meditate, and I also think jujitsu is very spiritual too, because it's so allegorical to life. But we can go on all that other stuff. So, like, do you have all this stuff, and can you talk about it? Can you coach it? Can you show people in your day to day? That's the other thing. God damn it. The biggest thing about being a mentor is not necessarily your talk, but it's your walk, right? Does this person walk what they fucking say they're going to do? I think that's the biggest mark of a man to me, to be honest with you, is, it's one of the reasons why I like you so much, dude. You sit here and you'll talk, right? But when you go and you look at it, it's like, hey, here's the results. Like, back it up. Here's the receipts. Here's the fucking receipts, right? I'm 41 years old. I look like I'm fucking 27, 28 years old. I'm in fucking tremendous shape. I got 2 kids. I'm rocking and rolling with those guys, right? I'm writing books. I'm doing podcasts. I'm doing all of the above. Like,
that's the thing with guys too, though, is you don't have to rush into having the kids. All right. So like, when I say like, you really want to affect the world, you really want to change things, you really want to impact the world, like, kids are the best way to do that, but you don't have to rush into it. When I'm going through my journals or whatever for my next book, and it's in my first book, Failing Upper Death by Ego, where I'm like hard on myself in my journals, like, oh my God, I'm 26, I don't have kids, I have no girl, like, I'm such a loser. Like, that's just stupid. Like, really, don't put that on yourself. Like, I have 41, almost 42. I got 2 kids. Like, I still, if I meet a vessel worth the expenditure, like, I'll have more kids. That's cool. So like, there's no rush. Like, don't when I say that, guys, don't take that as, oh God, I'm 38. I don't have kids. You're saying that I'm not affecting the world, I'm not doing anything. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that with all that you're doing, if you had kids, you would be doing more. Like, that would just be bonus. That would just be extra, because you're going to instill in those kids, like, your mentality, your energy, your aura, and they're going to take that with them. And then you're going to have, I have 2 of me, I have replicas of me going out into the world with my masculine mindset, and they're getting a shortcut to the front of the line, because like, I'm going to be able to teach them the things that I've just learned in the last couple of years.
Sure. Going back to the whole globalist thing too, as well. There's this belief that somehow, some way, that your kids are going to be a carbon copy of you. That might not necessarily be the case either. And I'm not saying that you said that. I'm just saying
it's gonna be 50% the mother.
right. You could, I mean, but you could end up having a fucking dunce, or you could end up having a kid who's like just not into anything like you want, right? And even if you role modeled it or whatever, but that's just kind of how, I mean, that's just kind of how it is. That's why I don't necessarily believe in a model of like,
Well,
but
yeah, I mean
statistically proven it's close. It's
so
closer.
I'm not trying to like get my kids to be, you know, competitive athletes or
Right.
fighters. They're gonna know, you know, jujitsu. They're gonna know martial arts. They're gonna defend themselves. They're gonna know fitness stuff because they needed to take care of themselves to be fit.
Sure.
But like, you know,
it sounds like you're giving them a baseline foundation.
yeah, exactly. I want to give them a foundation to build themselves up on. I'm going to say, hey, you know, if you guys, there's certain schools, things, and careers and things you need to do. You need to get this stuff done so that you can graduate and move forward. But you know, you don't have to only do things this way. You have options. Like I still have to edit the video, but my son, he's got these little toys called Bakugan, and he wanted to make a video, so we made a Bakugan video. I'm going to edit that, and then I'll create a YouTube channel for him. And if they want to keep doing videos, I'll let them do that and explore that, because that could be a more viable living maybe moving forward than going to college and racking up $150,000 worth of debt.
100% agree. I sent that tweet out again too a couple days ago. I don't believe that anyone under the age of 30 should attend university, and you probably shouldn't attend university unless you know exactly what profession you want to go into. And
you know exactly what, like I knew so many people who went into university and did general studies or whatever.
Right.
Like you're just okay. So you're going to school. You have no idea what you want to be. I'm just going to do general stuff. Figure it out as I go. No. If you know, hey, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be an accountant, I'm going to be this thing, this is the path. Okay, that's great. But like, make sure that you're going to get the money to
desire. You're going to invest into it. You're going to invest in time and energy. You're going to get the good grades. You're not going to fucking like slump by. You know what I mean? And just like slosh by to get some kind of basic results. When you go, you're going to be spending your time there. And then you're also going to be surrounded by other people that want to be there. And that's what a university used to be. It used to be for more elite people. And I hate, you know, we've gotten into this world of society today where, you know, we're bringing up elite as a pejorative, but the elite pejorative is meant for these people that are trying to doctor and hold themselves up at this elite level, even though they may not be genetically or consciously or whatever the elite. They're propping themselves up through creating laws to hold themselves there rather than letting the natural hierarchy occur. But there does always need to be an elite, right? And if you're an elite in an environment, good, like you should be, because that's what people are striving to do. Like
eliteness should come through competence, and that's where
merit. I think merit should come through merit. Absolutely. Yes.
So if you're a competent person, you're the most competent person, then you're going to be the most elite. Whatever you're doing. But we have crony shit set up to stifle that and prevent that to be true all the way across the board.
Right.
Whether it's rich people cutting line or it's laws that stuff up and let other people cut the line because they're disadvantaged for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys too, man. I don't believe in handicap parking spaces. I want to do a podcast on this, to be honest with you. I don't believe in handicap parking spaces. I don't believe, you know, and the reason why, and it's because one of the biggest things that I'm starting to see now is this. Now, because there's a certain sect of the country, of the society that has like this special privilege, everyone's trying to qualify for that special privilege to be invited to have that special privilege. And then the next thing you know, it also starts to put on a bracket these different tiers. It's another reason why I don't prop cops up, police and first responders, as being above society. You chose that profession to be a marker for society. So it's like when I was a Marine, you would never ever catch me going around and walking around in my uniform in a public space in order to get accolades and attention, right? Because that's not what I joined for. I joined for the real purpose of doing it for myself and for my brothers in the country. And if I get accolades at a different point, then so fucking be it. You know what I'm saying? So now going back to the handicap parking spot, now all of a sudden, guess what I'm starting to see? I'm starting to see other parking spots for like expected mothers and parking spots specifically just for cops that are close by up to the front. It's like, okay, I get it. You know, it's your, you know, these companies and corporation stuff, like that's your property. You can do with it what you want. Like you can put and create different types of parking spots if you want to, but at the same time, I don't believe in it. I don't believe any parking spot should just be marked. I believe it should just be an open market, right? Like if you're handicapped, no one should fucking try to prop you up. You should instead try to rise to the standard of society. And that's the way it used to be, right? We didn't celebrate you for being handicapped. You just had a handicap. That was just another hurdle in life that you had to overcome. But your goal should have been to strive to the level of society rather than striving to be handicapped. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Can you see that trend? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what
People
you're
now-
saying. I could care less about the parking spots, but no, like
It's just-
everybody.
it was an example.
I think, yeah. I think there's too many people who take advantage of the handicap moniker.
Right. Absolutely.
I think, you know, if you've been blown up or you're missing legs or like you need a special van to get up and down and whatever. Yeah, I see that. But there's a lot of people who, you know,
But you got a little machine that rolls. Like it's not that bad.
need a little extra
If you wouldn't
space to
be-
get out, I guess. But no, I
In the
mean,
back.
I don't know. I have more of a problem with the emotional animals, the emotional distress animals, whatever, emotional security, whatever those are, where they bring a pig or a goat onto a fucking plane. And
Oh my God, that kills me.
it's just, there was somebody had a special whatever pony. It was a pony. And they had it on the
And
fucking
it went
plane.
crazy on the fucking plane, right?
I'm just like, so how does your emotional problem trump my allergies?
Right.
Like, so who gets to be the highest on the rung? Who gets to be king of the mountain on the?
That's what I'm saying. It creates
on
what's it called? The oppression Olympics. Anytime you create
Yeah.
any type of special segment
Well, I think
of a population,
there's I think we're socialized against achievement or being great. Everybody like wants to push you down, and nothing's because you earned it, unless you're like one of the people in this whatever the victim Olympics or whatever. Like if you worked hard and achieved something, like I don't know, you're shamed a lot of times. I was reading they were trying to put the amount of running you would have to do to burn the calories to eat a certain amount of food. I think somewhere in the UK, and people were pissed off because it was ableist and it shamed people for like eating too many calories or it's just, I don't know, man. It's like you get talked down for trying to be great.
yeah, it's a reverse scale of merit right now. It's not,
Which is communism. Like that's how they
Correct.
take hold. That's what they do is they try to make you believe something that's not true is real. They try to get you to say things that you know are not true. They try to get you to go along with it. That's a way of controlling you. It's a way of dominating you. Right?
Well, it messes with the centers of the brain of rationality.
Yeah. Forcing you into submit. And it's ugly to see, but a lot of people are caught up in it. I think a lot of people aren't paying attention, and a lot of people are caught up in the bullshit.
Oh man, putting some bands on. Bands that make you dance. No, I've been using these I hate to call them booty bands. But I noticed with jujitsu that my like abduction and adduction have kind of gone by the wayside just from being on your back so much and going like so hip flexor dominant. So like using these bands, I do like little exercises to get that whole thing firing again, and it's really improved my posture and made jujitsu a little bit more enjoyable because you don't feel so much pain. Each one of my legs probably weighs about 80 pounds. So doing jujitsu is kind of tough. It's like doing a constant, like you ever like hang from a pull-up bar and just like lift your legs up,
Mm-hmm.
like hold them there. Yeah.
That's a great stretch for your shoulders and neck, upper thoracic, just hanging.
Now, fuck. I have two guys in the chat right now. One dude, Patrick, I'm going to call you out. Found this rabbit hole at 50 years old and wasted 2/3 of my life. And then Hadel, I hope that's how you say your name. I'm 43, a late bloomer, and I'm about the same boat as well. I recently ordered your book, Live Your Best Life in 30 Days. Hey, fucking go ahead and buy that shit. It's a good book. And I found the red pill at 41. I wish I knew then at 23 what I know now. Doesn't everybody say that about everything though?
Yep.
And this is where I'm going to come in
now.
Right. And that's what I said. This is where I'm going to come down as kind of like a stern Papa Bear and just be like, hey guys, shut the fuck up. Like straight up. I don't want to hear, honestly, like this is me being real. I don't want to hear any of this pity party bullshit of like, oh, I'm I'm 2/3 of my way through life and shit. Like make your life what you want to make your life. Like stop looking at the past and feeling sorry for it. Instead, this is what the red pill is supposed to do. It's supposed to free you from your past and let you live your best life now moving forward. Okay.
Be born again. Let your old self die. Let it die.
Yeah.
Good
riddance.
riddance.
Let it go. Let it go. Like say, who cares? Don't be attached to it, right? Keep the lessons that you learned from your past in the forefront of your brain, but don't let the emotional connection to it stay there, right? Me personally, especially if you're 50 or 43 years old or whatever, like you guys don't realize how much technology is about to come out here in the future that's going to be able to enhance and maintain and even let you live longer. I know this sounds crazy conspiracy theory type of bullshit, but it's true. I mean, if you really look at where we're at,
we're already, if you have the money, people are already living a lot longer.
Absolutely.
The life expectancy actually has dropped for the first time ever in the US.
I think if you're rich enough, though, you're gonna again. This is gonna be the thing that stretches.
Well, it's because it's the middle class. The middle class is being wiped out.
Right, it's being torn. Either you're rising to the rich, which is very few and far between, or you're getting descended down to the lower class.
Yep.
Yeah, it's separating the wheat from the chaff, I guess, in a way. But going back to this, guys, I really, really, really want you guys. I really want you to look forward to life and dictate the terms of your life. Don't sit here and be like, oh man, I only have this much longer to live. Like, who the fuck cares? Dude, you could wake up tomorrow, you could walk out of your house, you could be walking down the street and get hit by a bus, right? You could fucking go, I forget which Lee it was, but you could literally slip on the soap in the tub and fucking break your neck. You know what I mean? Don't worry about that, but instead design your life for how you want it to be lived so that when you look back and you are on your deathbed, you should look back and be like, yo, I fucking lived my best motherfucking life. That's what my book, Live Your Best Life in 30 Days, is all about. It's a way to set up your life so that when you look back on your deathbed, you can be like, all right, I fucking did it. I lived it. No regrets. That was a kick-ass life. Take me. Whatever the fuck takes you, right? Ricardo Rivas says, in your book, you mentioned meetups. Have you ever heard of red pill meetups? Yes, I was running a red pill meetup here in San Diego. I actually still have the meetup posted. I have about 83 people in that meetup. But because I moved, I used to have a conference room at the last place that I lived at, which was phenomenal. But now the logistics are all screwed up and I kind of wanted to move it in a different direction. And you're in the forum right now, Ricardo. That's kind of where we're at. I would definitely like to start getting involved in doing some webinars where we can get everybody here on a Zoom call and we could actually start talking and I can have a meetup that way. So I want to bring the meetups to online because when you start to do it terrestrially, right? If you do it locally, it's hard for people to move around. It's hard for people to get there, especially where I live. There's a lot of traffic. People get lackadaisical. A lot of people after a day of work want to just go home and throw some sweats on or whatever. Like at least you could go to a red pill meetup on a webinar and, kind of from the comfort of your own home. You can eat food. You can go and take a leak when you need to, all that good stuff.
I might someday get together and put something together where we do like a red pill relationship thingy, but we'll focus on, maybe self-defense, something like that.
Yeah. I want to move that more towards like a weekend long thing where it's like a seminar. Yeah, meetup webinars would be fucking awesome. Thank you. That would be super cool. I appreciate that. Hey guys, if you don't mind, do me a favor, hit the like button right now as well. We got quite a people up on the chat now, so that's awesome. Give us a like. Christopher Wilson with a great question. What are your thoughts on Stoic philosophy and the red pill? I've been studying a lot and I see some similarities. You want to hit on that one, John?
I'm a big fan of Stoicism. It's just, Stoicism is just basically think before you act. Like that's the most basic definition I can think of for Stoicism, right? You pull yourself back to second or third person, kind of look at the situation, look at the environment, put yourself in other people's shoes, think about the situation before you react to it, before you freak out, before you get emotional, all that shit. Take a step back, look at it like it's a movie, see if you can understand what's going on before you do something stupid. Because usually most people are very reactive. Somebody says something, does something, they get triggered, and then they just downward spiral from there.
Stoicism is mainly this, right? When we look around it, we are in a flow of energy. As John and I talked about this on the last one, we are literally just space apes flying around on a fucking rock, like flying through space, right? We are in a river of energy. We are constantly moving, and there's a lot of things that are whizzing past us at every point in time. And sometimes a lot of things have more energy and are able to move masses and all this other stuff. But the main thing is this, like as a stoic individual, your job is to kind of be that rock and stay centered and allow everything else to like just kind of mold around you and flow the way it's supposed to without you being carried away with it. It's the same thing with emotions. It's the same thing with anything in life, right? Any type of addiction, being carried away with sex, drugs, music, food, whatever, right? It's the ability, like what John is saying, to sit there and say, you know what? This is kind of taken over a little bit, or this is giving me a net negative. I don't like the direction because my life is no longer in a state of balance and I don't feel in control. Okay, what measures do I need to do in order to get there? That's why you hear like Tim Ferriss talk about it. He can get caught up in the whole living in the fucking what's it called, Silicon Valley type of thing with all these movers and shakers of industry and, you know, wearing flannels and all this other stuff and beanies all the time, and then dunking himself in fucking cool tanks and, you know, all this biohacking shit. And he's like, you know what? Instead of letting my head get big and all this other stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go away for 3 or 4 days into the mountains and live a minimalist lifestyle, not take any showers, and realize at a base level, I'm just a fucking man and a human being. I'm a meat bag that's conscious. And I need to sometimes tap into these kinds of things where it makes me feel primal and realize that sometimes I get caught up in my own bullshit.
You're an animal.
That's all stoicism is it's sometimes realizing in life, I just need to fucking break things down to its base level and not let it sweep me up like it does the masses. Because the masses are addicted. They love being swept up and taken away because it gives them a feeling. It gives them a spike. It gives them a sense of actually being alive. Whereas a stoic individual, and to match up with your question, yeah, is this red pill stuff? Absolutely. Stoicism is a practice of red pill ideology, I guess, in a way.
I would say so.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, man, I went to the San Diego Zoo. I've been there a couple times actually. And the gorillas, you go look at the gorillas and the big fucking silverback. If that dude isn't the most stoic motherfucker, you can just feel the energy. Like people walk slow by him. You know, the other gorillas walk by slow him. They don't fuck with him. Like they don't touch his food. Like that's stoicism. Calm, cool, collected. Doesn't pull the trigger until he's got to.
He's a rock. But then the second you come too close and you fuck with this shit, he's gonna snap. Fucking beans fly trap.
And that goes to the you know, you need your ego as a sword. You need to have your sword, but you should keep it sheathed until you have to draw it. Somebody crosses that line, ego comes out, you gotta handle your business. Otherwise, you're gonna get bullied around, pushed around. And I like how you said that too. Like you need, I think part of stoicism is kind of being aware of your own space and your own emotions and feelings, your own headspace, so to speak, and realizing where you're at in that moment. Like, you know, and if you're acting tense or have anxiety, all this type of shit, just being able to be like, yo, stop, like fucking get control of your mind, because it is your mind. They're your thoughts. You should be in control of them. Right. So you get a control, you get a handle on what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and then you can progress forward before you do something stupid.
I dig it too. It's another reason why I'm a tremendous fan of meditation. Every single day I meditate. I talk a lot about meditation in my book, Live Your Best Life in 30 Days. For those of you guys that want to pick it up, it's on Amazon, Live Your Best Life in 30 Days. There's my pitch. Anyway, meditation for me is my time for me to actually center and give myself the time I need in order to nurture myself, because a lot of us we haven't really had good mechanisms of nurturing in our upbringing. And for me to observe all this shit where it's like, okay, what type of bullshit am I telling myself? What type of bullshit's going on around me that's trying to like trap me into something, right? Like, what can I do in order to like, trim the fat? Trim the fucking fat. Like, let's trim the fat. I like trimming the fat.
Why is my head in this space? Why am I thinking about? Because like, I could spend hours being pissed off thinking about my divorce and losing money and all this other shit, but I have to use stoicism, correct myself, and be like, the fuck you doing? Why are you can't be upset about something you have no control over. You can control these things in front of you. Go do those. Be positive about those things rather than dwelling on bullshit. So that just ends up getting you stuck. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah. I haven't seen Enigmatic Elephant in the chat quite lately. Is he all right? Has he been around?
I have not seen him last. I didn't have a live stream yesterday. I didn't see him today. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's busy getting his body weight lifting on.
Yeah, I like it.
That dude doing the hands and shit. He's done some crazy shit.
Yeah, dude, especially for being as heavy of an athlete.
Yeah, he's like 195, 200 pounds. He's like my size. Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah. Fucking good stuff. Let's hit the porn thing a little bit, eh?
Oh yeah.
We
talked about it a little bit, but last time. Yeah, because it's still on my timeline. Like it still is all over the timeline. People are arguing about it hardcore, and like it's a nuanced thing because I'm not a authoritarian, so I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. I'm not going to be like, no, we need to make porn illegal. But at the same time, just like I have the same opinion towards abortion. Like I don't think we should make it illegal, but we should definitely spend some time educating people about it. So they have a full understanding of what's going on and what the dangers are, what the risks are, what you're getting yourself into, because it's an easy thing to lose a lot of time and patience and energy, and you can end up rewiring your brain so you can't even get a fucking boner. You get a smoking hottie in front of you, and like it doesn't do it for you because it's not fucking some kind of weird sex stuff.
I will tell you this: I have not been watching porn for at least the last 2+ months. And my erections now, especially because I wear condoms. So I used to blame it on the condoms before because I would get all like, whatever. I don't want to wear condoms. I always wear condoms now. And I'm fine. I'm completely fine right now with how everything's functioning. And I would definitely equate it to the fact that I'm not jerking off my little pee-pee anymore and I'm not watching pornography. I would definitely equate it to both of those things. Not that, it wasn't too much of an issue before, but it was just an extra little thing in the back of your mind of performance. And like,
I think also it comes down to, you're not in the moment. I think when you're watching too much porn, like your mind wanders to the porn. Right. You're there with a hot chick, like you're there, you're doing it in real life, but your mind can slip back to the pornos. Right. Yeah. So you're not really even engaged in the moment, what you're doing. Like you have the thing you're fantasizing about there. Like be in that moment, like grab a titty, slap an ass, like get into it. Like you're there. It's happening. You don't have to like pretend. You're not living a fantasy. Like you're living it. You're there.
Agreed. The other thing too that I will say about porn is this. And this is the best argument for not watching it is, and I could sense this each time after I would ejaculate after watching porn. There wasn't an overall sense of gratification, if that makes any sense. You released tension and you got an orgasm, so to speak, but there was always this like kind of like drop And it wasn't until I heard someone else say it recently that I was able to register the feeling.
It's like almost like a guilt or like a failure type.
It was a failure type why.
Yeah.
It's just like when you go, like I've hunted in like a canned environment before, like a fenced off exotic place with my bow. And there was some sense of a hunt to it, but at the same time, it wasn't real hunting. So at the end of it, you're still sitting there and you're just like, like I fucking paid for this and I didn't really fucking hunt. I didn't really get my own kill. Like I'm not.
You didn't, yeah, they call it
I'm not
hunting, but you're just killing an animal with an arrow.
Yes.
Like it's just
Exactly. And that's the same feeling that I can equate it to. There's something
I can see
primal
that.
tied to it. There's something
Yeah.
primal. There has to be. There's something biological. There's something primal. There's something, neurologically tied to this. That when you jerk off, and if you're doing it often, you're kind of like reinforcing the fact that you're a loser. In a way, right? That you didn't
see that.
You didn't source it yourself. So therefore,
Well, it
there's
goes
a
back
feeling-
to the Jordan Peterson and the lobsters, right? A
Uh-huh.
lobster who wins a fight tends to win the next fight.
Mhm.
Like when you start losing, you start to gain momentum towards losing.
Mm.
So like, yeah, I could see that very definitely. Like each time you masturbate, you're losing a little bit, and then you
Right,
go and
yeah.
play video games.
Yep.
And you go play video games, and you're losing a little bit more, and then it's just a downward spiral till you're unshaven, smelly in your mom's basement.
And you're an incel.
But
I
you could
think-
still be making $5 million a year coding.
Correlation to it. Yeah, exactly. That's true. But when it comes to actually being proficient with women and on the sexual marketplace, like we're talking about, which is actually the number one marketplace.
The
You're
motor,
not-
the
yeah,
engine,
it's the motor.
the engine that drives us.
Correct. I think it has a lot to do with that, man. And man, I've been not to brag too much, but I hopped back on Tinder last week and it's been a shit show. For a good way. So with that said, gents, I produced a thing called Online Dating Mastery. Let's see if I have the link here. I should be pushing that to myself, but I think I might have closed the tab out. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. 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 And I'm going to post it in. No, not save link as, you dummy. Copy link as. I'm going to post it right here and here. So this is not body language. So I think you should also do body language mastery, obviously. I don't know what that is.
They found you.
They got me.
They found you.
Either. Anyway, I feel retarded right now, so we're just going to keep going. Copy link address. We're going to try this one again. Beep, 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 beep. Fuck it. Nope, it's going to be the same thing. Anyway, body language mastery. If you guys really want it, I'll post it up in the chat afterwards, or you can go to my Twitter. It's in the link below, or it's in the link on Twitter at Corey Capella. 10 years of online dating has taught me quite a few things. I've had probably over 500, 600 dates. It's actually probably a lot more than that. It's got to be, in 10 years, probably into the 2 to 3 to 5,000 range.
Oh,
I've easily talked to over 10 to 15,000 women. My notch counts above 200, well above 200 on top of other sexual things that have happened with numerous other women. I'm not trying to brag, but what I am trying to say is this: there's a lot of guys out there that are hurting. They're in a scarcity mindset. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to get themselves out there. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to text. That's included in everything that I do. Now, body language mastery is the second aspect of it. That's my buddy John's course. And what that teaches you is this. It teaches you when you're approaching women, when you're talking to women, when you're on the date, you are now able to see, no kidding, the language that she's speaking to you and communicating to you about how she feels about you. There's not a lot of women out there, guys, in my time frame of these 500 plus, 2,000 plus dates and all this other stuff. I'd say maybe 10% of women, maybe have ever told me, I like you, I find you attractive, I want to go home with you. That means 90% of everything else has been based off of body language. So if you want to hit the trifecta here, Do go and check out my online dating mastery course. It's going to show you how to set up your profiles, what places to get onto in order to do that, how to set your profile up as well as far as pictures are concerned, what to say, what to text back and forth, how to get the number, how to get to the date, and how to get to drive your relationship to the area you want it to go, whether it's long-term, short-term, or just a one-nighter. And then body language mastery course as well. Get that obviously in order to learn about the body language. And then last, the WarTribe.com. Now, if you're looking for somebody, when you're looking for, Patrick Knott says, I did Q3, best thing I ever did for myself. Here's a great part about body language mastery. John's a fucking maniac. He goes on live for 2 hours, 2 times a day, running a webinar where you literally get direct access to him. I'm on there quite a bit too, so you get direct access to me as well. And you get to literally ask all these questions of like, hey, this is what I'm doing wrong. Hey, this is what I need to fix. Hey, this is what I need help with. And you get direct feedback. Now, I offer that same thing, but in a forum, and that's the WarTribe.com. Do go to the WarTribe.com. It's $20 a month for you to get direct access to me. Just type your questions into all that stuff, and we literally talk about personal growth and development on top of game as well. So check those out. John Fitch, what do you got?
Well, you got the dating, body language stuff covered. So master violence, go to my Patreon, patreon.com/Jon Fitch. Learn some Fitch smash fighting techniques. I am going to be bringing self-defense type stuff forward. I think I'm going to put the course together here coming up beginning of next year. I think I'm going to start filming that. I have seminars and things coming up. I'm putting together a seminar here in San Jose, probably AKA, haven't picked a date yet. It'll be in January. But I'm going to structure that towards being more self-defense. My first real self-defense based off of my Fitch Smash curriculum, because normally I'm teaching MMA. People are learning MMA fight stuff, or they're learning jiu-jitsu, or they're learning straight wrestling. So they're learning things based off of sport. So I want to start introducing some of my stuff that is self-defense. So guys on the street will feel more confident in handling themselves. It's very simple, and I'm not going to put you into a deep fight where you're throwing triangles or trying to hip toss somebody. Where it's mostly keeping yourself in good position, keeping yourself in a defensible position, because fights and things happen quick, right? And you don't really want to be in a fight. That's right. It's self-defense. You're trying to get away. So a lot of stuff depends on location, scenario, whatever. But as long as you are up on your space management and knowing when too close is too close and not allowing people to get to that range, I think a lot will be saved by being able to do that and being aware of that. So there'll be some good stuff in maintaining your space management stuff, on getting up effectively, what to do if you're on the ground, that type of stuff. I still have to put it and construct it together, but the first official seminar will be probably sometime in January. Well, there'll definitely be sometime in January. I also have a book I'm getting ready to put together. I'm waiting on approval for some photos that I can use for it, but it will be a weight cutting book. And I basically wrote a short story about what I do from beginning of training camp all the way through leaving to the arena for the fight, what I'm eating, what I'm putting in my body. I'm not going into workouts, but I am going in with the diet approach and discuss briefly how I sweat the weight out the night before the weigh-ins, that type of stuff. I've been pretty successful with the 17 and a half years I've been fighting, making weight, and especially since 2016 when I started my meal plan and things started getting really easy and really predictable with my weight. So I'm going to be sharing that. Hopefully I'll have that up for purchase soon on Amazon. If that's not ready for Christmas, you can always buy Failing Upward Death by Ego. That's a nice stocking stuffer. I lowered the price $1 for the Kindle and $1 for the paperback.
It's not $1. He lowered it $1.
I lowered it $1. Yeah.
I was like, damn, you're giving your book away for $1, bro?
No, they won't even let you because it costs too much money to print.
I think it's like $225 or $250 for them to actually print the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it's not even worth them printing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so that's what I have going on. And then, johnfish.net, check that out, sign up for the email list. I got to start putting together some content for that too. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. So, John, I'm going to be in Miami this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to have any access to being able to do this.
Yeah.
I am going to bring my laptop, so I'll let you know if we can run this session on Sunday.
Right. I may be doing a live stream during there's fights this weekend.
Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night. So I may do a live stream during the fights. We'll see.
Cool. And then your YouTube channel, the official John Fitch.
YouTube is official John Fitch, correct. But if you go to johnfish.net, you can find all my links.
Sick. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Do be on the lookout. We may run on Sunday, but I'm not sure because I'm going to be traveling. So with that said, do hit the like button, do share this with people, and go and buy these courses because it's really going to help out in your life. With that said, we will see you later. Take care.
Later, dudes.